No, you don't, dude. No! Ugh, I'm miserable already. Resident Evil 4 is a game I had considered playing for a while, but with the release of Resident Evil 9 Requiem, this is how I decided to celebrate it. Going back to the game that pretty much got me into the Resident Evil series, Resident Evil 4. The first true experience was with Resident Evil 1 Remake. It was a glorious game, but I didn't play through it as much as Resident Evil 4. When it first came out, I probably played through it 40 plus times. Needless to say, I do have experience with this game. The set in itself is its own achievement. It has a whopping 151 achievements, 53 of those being missable. The PS2 is a bit bigger with 182 achievements, and 105 of those being missable. So why start on the Gamecube version? Well, for starters, I felt like there was some filler in the PS2 version. The other issue I saw is that some achievements, although done correctly, had a hard time unlocking. Going through a longer set, I didn't want to have that extra frustration. Aside from that, Alex Hillian worked on the Gamecube set as well as Schnick 1980. I have done a set or two by Alex Hillian before and was pretty satisfied with them. Aside from that, I think the achievements are spot on for the most part. Alex Hillian made 81 achievements for the set, and Schnick 1980 made 70. I do see that there could be some struggles in the set, but I have a plan for most of them. With that said, let's see how my plan turns out in this video. Will the master be difficult, or will it be easier than expected? I'm on a journey to master every game I can in retro achievements. It takes a lot of time to master and edit them. If you like these videos, then please subscribe. There are many more to come, and I don't shy away from difficult games. The first thing I do on this day, aside from shooting a few birds and jumping out a window, I go up to a dog caught in a bear trap. Poor guy. After that, it is on towards the village. Making it there, I need to defeat 2 chainsaw-wielding enemies. So I go into the building and... Wait, what's that? Scratch that. I reset, go to the village, go straight, and make a left to the end to find the first chainsaw-wielding enemy. Now I'm not going to go over any methods to really fight them, but you can bait every enemy in this game to do what you want. Shooting them in the head works wonders as well. After dealing with the first one, it is now time to enter the building to get the second one to show up. Now equipped with a shotgun, it should make things a bit easier. It does, and I get the achievement Deadly Games for it. After dealing with the village, I do have an incendiary grenade. I save, then go to the cows. We're going to have some barbecue. Throwing an incendiary at the cow gets me the similar to remake achievement. Not exactly sure why, but I can only guess at a few things. Also, yeah, shooting all the blue medallions will get you an achievement, but I do not need to go over all those locations. At this point, it is time for me to go fishing. There are a few reasons to drop down here aside from that. There are some extra money, handgun ammo, and a flash grenade. Well worth it just to get these. The fish are extra health, and the large one sells for a decent price. I climb up, shoot the birds, disable the traps, and go around the tree as that's how you'd avoid the...
Oh, my leg!
Well, I should have known about that one. There are a few things to do at the start of the chapter. The first thing is to go back into the room to get the Lady in Red achievement. Next is to go down the stairs and open up the bathroom door. Looks like I rudely interrupted him. Anyway, defeat him and I get the achievement I can't even piss in peace. Yeah, he really couldn't. At least he can rest in peace now though. Remember when I mentioned the blue medallions? I finally get an achievement for collecting them all. Now in a large swamp area, I need to find 3 snakes that lurk around here. It's a nice little Easter egg to know that there are plenty of snakes. You see, if you're not familiar, when you kill a snake, they drop an egg which you can eat or sell. The snakes in particular can't be from a box, so you'll have to pay attention to the water and the ground in general. For this, I get the achievement Snake Hunter. Sounds like a Metal Gear Solid game. Metal Gear Solid, Snake Hunter. Now before I go to fight the boss here, I go all the way to a peak to watch a cutscene. This gets me the "what the hell is this monster?" achievement. Then, I wasn't sure if they would have it as an achievement, so I went fishing by the dock. Yeah, no achievement for that here. However, there is an achievement for defeating the river monster without taking damage. I do this on my first try and get the Fish on Skewers achievement. Next up is fighting El Gigante. I need to take him down in less than a minute. After having saved, I powered up my shotgun. I had a few grenades as well. The idea is to use a few grenades and the shotgun. After a little bit, he will kneel down where you can jump on his back and inflict major damage to the Plagas. Now, he can fall like the giant he is. After that, I went for damageless. I somehow forgot what I was going for and... yeah. I went on further to rescue Ashley, which gives me the final achievement for the day. So now I have to remember that when I start a new game to come back and defeat El Gigante without taking damage. That is okay though. Starting up, I need to go to the cabin and do some wonders there. The wonders I speak of is damageless. It takes me a while to get through. Lewis doesn't take care of his business. The other problem is figuring out what is best. Speedrun strats? There are multiple times where I could be saved by Lewis, or I get hit and not knowing how. I mean, look at that. Where did it come from? It took me forever to get past this cabin, at least with damageless. After over an hour, I finally did it. I got the 2 achievements and can go to the next. Going on to the next thing I need to do. I need to take both paths and defeat both El Gigante as well as the Bella sisters. Now, originally I was thinking I could run through it, but I figured that probably wouldn't be enough. The first path I take is with El Gigante. It is kind of a pain. I failed to land the first boulder on him multiple times. Apparently I can't judge distance. I must not have any depth perception or something. Anyway, I use Ashley as bait to get El Gigante to go towards the boulder. When he is stunned, you'll want to turn around and get extra ammo as well as the key. After that, it is more running until the end with the last boulder. Shoot that on top of him, then do what you can for all the extra damage. It is a pain, but he eventually goes down. Now for the Bella sisters. This is much easier as all basic enemies are rather gullible. You can fake a lot of the enemies out. This includes the chainsaw wielding fiends. It's especially easy when they come across a ladder. They have to climb up it, so we can just shoot at them from above. After defeating both of them, I get the achievement, I can't leave the village without eliminating these pests. And pests they were. At least El Gigante was. I make it to the boss of the village. This guy is really easy to take out, but to take him out in 30 seconds? Not so easy. In fact, it's so impossible when you're doing too good, you'll have to purposely downgrade the difficulty to get it. Originally I had to throw 3 incendiary grenades to get to the second part. If you downgrade the difficulty by dying too many times, it will take 2 hits of the incendiary. Blow up the fuel tank next to him when he drops down and then unload what you have into him. Should be easy. The challenge wasn't as difficult when you put the information in front of you, but that ticking timer that doesn't stop between gameplay and inventory makes it more nerve-wracking. I also get damageless for beating him, by the way. Mendez is too easy not to do damageless. With that, I go to exit the village, shoot a crazed driver, grab some treasure, take care of excess villagers, and leave the village, which gets me a progression achievement. The plan was to stop here, but I got raided, so I stuck it out a bit longer. Now in the castle, I make my way through it to the next achievement, which is in the sword room. It is here that I need to do something special. The good news is that I have a flash grenade. Why is this important? Well, I need to solve the sword puzzle without defeating enemies. The strat is easy. Grab and swap the swords. If the enemies are getting close, flash them for more time. Problem solved. For that, I just want to leave here as an achievement. I also get another progression achievement. So what could be next? Well, I have to take on this enemy in the dungeon, which is a wannabe Wolverine. For this specific achievement, there is a setup. You need to take out both torches. One is by the enemy in the dungeon, and the other is by the staircase. You'll have to do this before you break down the door to the enemy. Once that is done, just take your time and shoot at the Plagas on its back. You don't need to do anything else special. As a precaution to not get hit, I break the door down, then back up to start the fight. The enemy goes down, and I get Strange Creature and Nightmare as achievements since I did it damageless as well. With that, I end the day. I don't want to venture into the water room at the moment. I end with a total of 26 achievements. The game takes longer when you need to account for missable achievements and figure out strategies. The next day will require some more effort for the water room and a few other things, but I look forward to it. On this day, I get through the water room. That is all the mention it gets. It's not hard, I just rushed it. So that takes me to the next major achievements to get at the moment. That is, target practice. Also not too bad, but you do need to have decent aim. I did like to use the TMP, but it was too unstable for me, so I went with the handgun, which proved to be better. You'll need to play each game a total of 6 times. The first 4 times I believe you need to get past 3,000 points. The second game 4,000 points once, and 3,000 for the other. I could be wrong though. Whatever, I got them. The next challenge lies in the sewers. Simply run through the sewers and make it all the way through to the next area without killing Novastators. Easy enough. Just have some extra health and you're good to go. I make it to another room where there is a group of cultists chanting. In here I try to jump from chandelier to activate a switch to close the door. But I was mistaken. Flashbang them, jump down, and run to the exit. The door now closes, so I am free to throw a grenade to get them out of the way. Doing this gets me an achievement. I finally upgrade my case to the max size, which also gets me another achievement. Thank goodness. This is absolutely necessary to get that free rocket launcher. It takes up a lot of space, but I have plans for it. You'll see. After getting Ashley back, I backtrack to a locked door. Here lies a gun called the Broken Butterfly, a magnum which is also greatly needed. You'll see once again. I also get back into target practice. Honestly, from the way I shoot, it looks like I need it. They are supposed to get progressively more difficult, but still. I get the targets done for another achievement, then head on over to the Queen's Chamber. Here I need to take out all of the torches and then take out the guys in the machine with the handgun. I do so, and I don't get the achievement to pop. I guess it has issues. So I try again, and turns out I'm just being stupid. I missed a torch. So I find myself in a pit. You know who is coming up. I gather all resources here, then save. Now here's the plan. Max out the Broken Butterfly. With that, and grenades, plus freezing Verdugo, he should go down fairly easily. I'm mistaken though. When I make it to the room and push a switch, I don't go to the elevator. Instead, I wait for Verdugo to get bored of me and activate the battle himself for the achievement. Wait a minute. Do you hear that? Oh yeah, this is going to be hell. I've taken so many hits at this point that I just decided to defeat Verdugo, which gets me an achievement. After many more attempts, I get damageless. It's unfortunate that I have such a drive to not stop until I'm usually exhausted with an achievement, but it didn't go too long over my time for it. After a time, I got a bit upset at him, so after shooting him with the Magnum, I threw all of my grenades and a rocket launcher, which didn't take him out, because he's armored. It does do damage, but not as much. The problem with Verdugo is that if you're next to a canister and a button combination shows up, that takes precedence. Also, if you're next to a door, you will definitely get hit. The problem with doors are this. If you're in an animation, then a button combination won't pop, which means you'll get hit. Also, more than likely Verdugo won't use an attack that does bring up a button combination. After so many attempts, I figured out it was better to bait him into doing a short attack by a door than going through it hoping he wouldn't hurt me. It paid off. Barely. I was a bit high on adrenaline. To finish off this hell, I just simply don't defeat him. If you use canisters, he just walks when frozen. You'll have to wait for the elevator to get down too. It's a rather long wait, but if you're patient and have health, then it's fine. I get the achievement and don't save my game so I can reload and do this the proper way next time. For now, I'm done, and it's time to eat dinner. Started the 4th day, and I was left a little upset with Verdugo to say the least. So I run up to get everything situated, try to open the door to get Verdugo to show up, drop the canister to freeze him, and blow him up with a rocket launcher. Satisfying.
Oh, I've wasted my life.
After getting past that point, it is time for more target practice. I spend a bit of time trying to get accurate and trying to memorize positioning. I finally managed to get all 6 of the mini statues for the achievement. I then move on to talk to the merchant after saving the game. This allows me to reload after I get the next achievement, which is going up against the 2 El Gigante and not taking damage. I also can't dunk one in the lava. The point was to max out the Broken Butterfly in damage and save the ammo for later. I do this just in case. After a ton of crotch shooting and ladder abuse, I finally get 2 magnificent achievements. Once I enter the mine area, I need to make sure I take care of all of the chainsaw people. The first one is up the ladder. but I take out my sniper rifle and fire at him until defeated. I then was wondering where the other one was. I kick open the door to be surprised to see him, so I shoot him with the sniper, then run away. Again, I'm surprised by the fact he didn't follow me. Instead, he went upstairs. That means I can use the same method as before, so I do. That's 2 of them down. I need to defeat 4 of them. I know there is one on the minecart, but I wasn't sure where else. As I progress, I make it to the minecart and realize that both of them are in fact in this area, so it's just a matter of defeating them before the end of the ride. It proved a little irritating, but I got through it. Defeating them all gets me the Chainsaw Massacre. Something a little more interesting now. You know that lock at the end of the corridor where the statue of Salvador is? Yeah. Well, you have to shoot the lock without using special weapons or the rifle from a distance before the bridge is activated. So that's a huge issue. The best I could hope for was to use my handgun and go nuts towards the door. Another issue is that it takes multiple shots to destroy the lock. Since it does, I miss a lot of times. So I made a wise decision to save before doing this. After missing many times and hitting the lock a few times, I get the achievement. I have to beat Salvador damageless and in under 30 seconds, so I load up on power for the broken butterfly and the sniper rifle. I avoid taking damage and get the achievement for that as well as a progressive, but didn't get the achievement for being fast. So here's how it goes. Shoot the eye once with the magnum, as that is all it needs before it reveals Salvador's body. Next, unload all of your shots on Salvador himself. Reload, fire at the eye, reload right after to have enough time to unload the rest of the clip into Salvador. He goes down quickly and easily. It took a lot of practice, but it was all worth it for this achievement. After all of that, I make it to the island. I need to grab all the emeralds, but I'm not sure if I know where all of them are at, so I will do my best to find them. In the meantime, I make my way through a little bit of the island to a save. Then I stop for the day. Next time, I'm hoping to beat this game. Now for a bit of a fun achievement. Anyone familiar with Resident Evil 4 knows of a character named Oven Man. You get an achievement for dodging him and leaving before he's killed off. Easy and... Okay, redoing that. Just go around to the right while he rushes. While he's doing that, just run towards the door and go through it. Success. Now go back and pick up whatever you missed. Now for more target practice. It's the last of the shooting gallery and it's the same as before, just different formations. It takes a little bit, but I get the final achievement for this set of achievements. The next major achievement is going after a regenerator and defeating it the first time you encounter it without leaving the room. For this, I take out my shotgun, blow out the leg, and... well, that happened. So I take some health after reloading, get chewed on, and I finally defeat it. Now that I have that achievement, I can reload the game and do this properly. Now it's all about the one in the freezer. This time I have to use the sniper rifle and defeat it in 3 shots or less. I miss 1 shot on a Plagas, but do this my first try. There is another easy missable, but it's also a sort of Easter egg. When you come across an Iron Maiden, you will need to defeat it to get a key. Pick up the key, but keep moving on to find another door past the lab. Here, you'll have to work your way towards the top, and when you get through the door, you'll come across the radio controls as well as a cutscene. Kind of funny, it's worth 1 point. That's it for easy ones at the moment. Now we move on to the next chapter, escorting Ashley, damageless. So let me explain something. It's not only Ashley taking damage that is the problem, it's her getting grabbed as well. This is why I have my flash grenade saved. Even so, this wasn't easy at all. Admittedly, this took a few tries, mostly due to one room, the room with a huge ball and chain. As you can imagine, it gets to be a hassle if you're not prepared for it. First off, leave Ashley in the room, then go through the door. I use a grenade to take care of some enemies, then clear the rest of the room. After clearing the room, equip a flash grenade and go through the door. When you see the enemies, throw the flash grenade. Run up to press the switch, attack the stunned enemy, and throw another flash grenade. Now just run to the cutscene. This next area is pretty simple. Take Ashley and get her to hide in one of the trash bins. Now you can take out the Iron Maidens without worry of her getting hurt. Now it becomes an issue at this room. Make sure you have flash grenades. This will make it so much easier. At the start of this room, make sure Ashley is by the door. Now take out these enemies. Once you defeat them, take Ashley with you and equip the flash grenades. Have her take care of the switch while you make sure to use flash grenades to stun the enemies. As they are getting unstunned, throw another flash grenade. There will also be others jumping down. Take out your shotgun and shoot them into the lava. From here it becomes quite easy. Use the same strat to take out the regenerators, making sure Ashley is nowhere near them. Make sure your shotgun is equipped and take out enemies as they come. Shoot the bulldozer that rushes at you to make it burst into flames, then again a second time. The next major issue is in the elevator, which isn't much of a problem. Stay down here and make sure to take out everyone that jumps down. Some will drop on the truck, so get up there and defeat them as well. As a note, the ones with the crossbow will never shoot Ashley from up top. Once everything is cleared, it is just the simple on-rails mission. Shoot anyone you see up top so they get ran over, and before long you'll come across a bulldozer coming to hit you straight on. Simply give it a few shots and welcome in that achievement you just earned. I get to say hi to an old friend, get through a laser room, and come across the world's most comfortable chair. So I have a seat to unlock an achievement. You would think this would be simple, but it isn't so. You need to navigate all the mazes and not get hit. The first one I need to run right past it and shoot the lock. I then hit the switch, go all the way back and make a left to shoot another lock. At the end, I find another switch to hit. Just run up to the door for the first part to be done. For the second part, go straight ahead, but don't go all the way in. Take out a gun and shoot the lock on the left. Now take a few steps to the other side and do the same for the lock on the other side. Now enter and run past it to find a switch. Turn around, go to your right, and make a left at the end to find another switch. Turn around, go straight, and through the door. For the third part, I took a shortcut. I took out a grenade and destroyed the lock on the other side. Activate the first switch for it to break through. Now go around him to the door you just opened and hit that switch. Go around it one last time without getting hit. Make your way all the way to the door and I finally don't have to deal with that anymore. We're still not done with it though. I still need to do damageless on the second part, which I do get utterly destroyed on the first time. The strat is simple though. Have it follow you to the explosive containers and shoot them. Open the gate and have him follow you yet again. Blow up that container. Open the next gate and shoot at him as he approaches. Keep having him follow you. Shoot at him and close the gate behind you. Once the gate is broken, go to the other gate. Close it, and then bring out the broken butterfly to inflict some major damage. When it's all said and done, it was easier than I thought. Like the achievement says, maybe it will have a better shot as a clown. Now it's time for the strats. It took me a while to come up with this. There's a little bit of luck involved, but for the most part this is how it goes down. Run to the pillar and hide behind it. When he's done attacking or the first arrow is shot, run to and through the door. Break the box and get the magnum ammo. Go up the ladder and knife Krauser. Dodge prompts if you have to. If he's a little far away, jump down and bring out your knife. This first part is done. Now it's running out the door and equipping your flash grenade. I take out the flash grenade and angle it to where it will affect Krauser, who is hiding in ambush. After throwing it, I run to the next area. Here, I pick up the item I need, then knife Krauser a few times when he jumps back down. Now for the second part of this. After solving the puzzle and leaving, you'll end up at a corner where you need to push a switch. I can see Krauser's shadow, so I throw a flash grenade and run away. He manages to grab me, but I manage to get out of it without taking damage. I run up to the ladder and do a few knife hits before he uses a flash grenade and runs away. The only thing left is getting through the area with traps. I take my time and whip out a grenade to make this part with the bots easier. Then I take my time with a shotgun to take care of any other problems. The last part is responding to Krauser before needing to run immediately towards the gate and up the stairs. I grab the other piece and finally get this damageless achievement done with. However, that leaves me with another damageless achievement, Krauser himself. After failing many times, I came up with this idea. Shoot him in the leg with a broken butterfly, then run up and knife him in the head. I ran out of magnum bullets I wanted to use, so I took out my shotgun and shot him a few times with that to bring him down, all the while dodging with those prompts. It feels good. A worthy mention. At the merchant and close to the end of the game, I maxed out the broken butterfly, red 9, and the riot gun. Sadly, I couldn't find all the emeralds, so I'll have to get that in another playthrough. I have made it this far without upgrading health though, so that is encouraging. Sadler represents its own issue in the form of another damageless achievement. It seems no matter what I do, I can't defeat him without taking damage. Many times I just lose. I get so frustrated, I shoot at him with my broken butterfly, not realizing that it damages him. He gets defeated, which nets me the progression achievement. Now I have a strat. I have 2 grenades. The idea is to throw a grenade, then shoot him a few times with the magnum. Hit the eye on the left leg with the magnum, unload on Sadler, hit the main eye, and after all of that, throw a grenade and unload on Sadler some more. The only thing that was left was to escort Ashley out of here and escape the explosion. Mission accomplished. I get the achievement I sought out since the beginning, then no additional health. That leaves me to think about what I want to accomplish for the next day. Assignment Ada? Knife only campaign? Mercenaries? We'll see. I decided to tackle some Assignment Ada, and what an assignment she has. One of the first things that I want to take note of is needing 8 grenades. It's a lot of space that I need to use for that on top of the Plaga samples. The reason I need so many is for the first achievement I'm going for here. I need to beat Krauser without using any guns. When I make it to him, I end up failing a few times. The idea is to keep him stun locked with the grenades, but it didn't work out that way. The time I did claim victory was when he didn't get stunned all that much. He takes damage from grenades even when he isn't stunned, so that's a good thing. It was nice to see that achievement pop. I grab the last Plaga sample and head to the control room to signal for a pickup. This gets me 2 more achievements. The second one I couldn't upgrade my health at all. Again, not a problem for me. Still not done with Assignment Ada, I have a few more achievements I want to get. One of them I get pretty quickly by not killing any enemies. It's a simple run. From the start of the mission, just run towards your goal. The pointing enemy won't attack and the other one by him doesn't pay attention. Again, you'll come across another enemy pointing at you and another not paying attention, which will always try to grab you, yet fail 100% of the time. Jump across the gap and through the window to get a gunner to come out. Keep running forward and up the stairs like so. He will likely miss you, and so will the other enemies if you do all the above in sequence. Make sure to stick to your right. Once you reach the ladder, the achievement pops. The next achievement I wanted to go for was a speedrun. You'd think 10 minutes is lenient. It is in a sense. The world records are about 5 minutes at the fastest anyway, so not anything to complain about. I did get frustrated with this achievement. Effing dirtbag of a enemy. You're kidding me. A grenade did not do any damage to him. After going over the game and thinking how I should go about each area, I finally had a full run planned after many attempts. Here is how I decided to speedrun it. Run straight past every enemy in the first area. In the second area, make sure to do the same, even if that means getting shot in the with an arrow. Sometimes that does happen once you get up the ladder. Go straight towards the first Plagas and shoot the box for sniper ammo. Shoot an enemy to stagger them if you need to. Grab the TMP ammo and run to the Plaga sample. I take a hit here, which usually doesn't happen. I then make sure to trick the enemies into doing their short attacks and run around them. Go to the freezer, grab the Plaga sample, leave, shoot the enemy 4 times to kill him. Turn around from where he's at and quickly kill the shielded enemy. Unfortunately, he was a Plagas, so I stunned the big guy and risked running past the enemies. In the next area, stun or kill the enemies. Drop down and snipe the gunner in the head, then run for the door. The explosion from the grenades are supposed to stagger him again, but it didn't. So I alternatively shot him in the head again and picked up an herb on the way. Since I get shot, I use an herb to heal up. In the area to unlock the door, just shoot the enemy down in front of you, or kick him if you need to. Run and pick up the TMP ammo and quickly get to the door as the other enemies won't harm you as they get into position. But watch out for the one that was already there. Trick him into attacking, then run past to the door. In the next area, get the grenade in the red shelf, then go through the holding area Ashley was held to find another Plaga sample. Keep moving forward to the next area and through it. Run past the first few enemies, and while going down the stairs, shoot the enemy down. After checking the locked door, turn around. Throw a grenade to get a lot of enemies killed and damaging the gunner. I took a hit, so I again used health and took out the sniper to take care of the rest of the enemies as well as the gunner. Grab the health and run up to the next area. Again, use health to take care of being damaged. Make sure you have the TMP equipped as you go through. Now as quickly as you can, grab the Plaga sample, head to the controls, and then run to where Krauser is located. Equip the grenade. I had no time to breathe at all. With the grenade equipped, run to the other side, but before the boxes, turn around and walk backwards to be facing Krauser when he shows up. Throw the grenade with timing to make him kneel. As he's kneeling, shoot him with a rifle. If you want to play it risky like I did, back up as he's attacking so you can shoot him after the prompt. He should miss you most of the time, but it depends on the attacks he does. He goes down in a few shots and I gun it to the control room. I did all of this with 44 seconds to spare. Thank goodness that is over. It was a stressful achievement to get. So now it's just all health and boxes. Simple enough. Run past the bridge at the start to find 2 boxes and a yellow herb. The second yellow herb is right behind a barricade here, and 2 barrels are just to the right after getting said herb. After going up the ladder, look to your left to find 2 more barrels. Jump the gap, go through the window, and make it right all the way to a dead end for another yellow herb. Once inside the complex, go down the stairs to where the typewriter was. There will be a box. On the way to the first Plaga sample, shoot a box on the shelf to your left. In the room across from the Plaga sample, defeat the enemies, destroy the glass, and get the yellow herb. On the way to another Plaga sample, where you get the grenade, there is a yellow herb out of sight. I ended up missing it, sadly, but I came back for it. Thankfully, you're not locked out of anything in this mode. After the gunner enemy, and you come across 2 enemies throwing bombs, defeat them, then go through the door to find a yellow herb. Collect the 3 herbs in the lab, which should be the final one for you if you got all the previous ones mentioned. There are 3 boxes where the Krauser fight is. By this time, you should have 8 total. If not, you missed some. Destroy the boxes and get the achievement. Now for me, I have to find that last yellow herb. So I look it up and... yep, there it is. Amazing how hidden it is due to the camera. I get my achievement too. I used all the herbs and then finished assignment Ada again. I still need to do damageless in this mode, but maybe I'll do Mercenaries next time. I jumped right into Mercenaries today. I'm only using Leon though, for now. I need to use him to unlock the other character or characters if I so choose after that. The goal is to get a 5-star with him in each scenario. First though is making sure I get all the time extensions. I will not list where all the locations are at. In most maps, it is pretty easy to find them all, except for the military base one where there are a ton of them. After a while I get the 5-star I was looking for in the village. This unlocks Ada and I can move on to the next area, the castle. The same achievements apply here and in the rest of the areas. I need to get 5 stars and get all the time extensions, so there won't be much of a mention on this anymore. It takes some time to get the map down though. Most strats are going to be the same. Make sure to string the combos along and grab all the bonuses to get the maximum amount that you can. You get 1k per kill with the bonus. I had trouble getting the Garrador to get out there, but I figured it all out. So, the military base had its issues, mostly because there are so many places to look for the time extensions. I missed one a few times and then I realized where it was. Now it just becomes a test of getting all the combos and dealing with all the Gatling gun enemies. Again, it didn't take too much time, a lot of effort still. I do manage to get the 5-star before getting all the time extensions. So after getting that 5-star, I go directly into finding all the extensions. This last area is probably the biggest pain. Not because of the time extensions, but because of the boss-like enemies here. They are called Super Salvadors. They wield 2 chainsaws at once and are really hard to flinch. The best way to go about them is to have grenades and shoot at them from afar. Using the explosive barrels also works well. Other than that, it is a wrap for all the achievements I wanted. All characters are unlocked and that gets me to the last achievement I want to go for, Damageless Assignment Ada. I will come back for the 100 kills another time. I'm going to take this by the area. In the first area, just run past everything. I mean, everything. If you get hit, restart. In the second area, same thing. Run past everything until you make it near the end. Pick up the sniper ammo and shoot the 2 enemies to instant kill them. Now in the facility, go towards the first Plagas room. Shoot the box, pick up the sniper ammo, and kill the enemy with your pistol. Pick up the TMP ammo, handgun ammo, on the desk, shoot the enemy down and pick up the Plaga sample. Stun the enemies and run past them. Go all the way to the freezer. Instead of entering, kill the enemy near the briefcase. Pick up the TMP ammo. Kill the other enemy. Go in the freezer and pick up the sniper ammo and Plaga sample. When you exit, make sure to have the TMP equipped. Shoot the enemy to the floor, both if you can. I got unlucky and a Plaga sprouted for the one. In this next room, you'll want to defeat both of the enemies. Now, pick up the sniper ammo and use the sniper to kill one enemy, then shoot and kill the other. If you're able to, shoot the Gatling gunner. Back up all the way to the door. The gunner will enter through the door from across you, so shoot him in the head to stun him. Do this multiple times until he goes down. Now carefully take care of the other enemy and be careful of the ones that toss grenades. Just run and stun enemies and enter the next door. Go to the jail cell with the handgun equipped, and after having grabbed the grenade in the red cupboard, you can shoot the enemies until they're defeated through the door. Quickly run and dodge or kill the remaining enemy and grab that Plaga sample. This next area is a tricky one. What I do is take out all the enemies on the way to the stairs and down them. Check the door, then go under the stairs. Take out a grenade and throw it when the enemies are near the bottom of the stairs to clear them. Now just to deal with the gunner. You can shoot him with the TMP while he's going towards you, but the main strat was to take out the sniper and shoot him while hiding around the stairs. Eventually he goes down. The final step is to make sure to avoid the enemies and make it to the door. Ignore the enemies that throw the grenades. In this last area, you'll want to defeat all the enemies here, then quickly grab the Plagas. Go to the unlock and then dodge enemies and make your way to the door to Krauser. So there is a reason why I have a single grenade with me. There is a strat with this guy to make it very easy. When you're just about to make it to the cutscene, turn around with your grenade equipped. Throw it with timing. When it explodes, run past him and enter the door. Go back through the door with your sniper equipped. Now all you have to do is get some good shots on him. If he doesn't go down too soon, then go back through the door and re-enter it. Easy. Just go towards the control tower into the control room now. Thank goodness that is over. Now with assignment Ada completely finished, I couldn't have ended on a better note than that. Next could be either more mercenaries or some more of the campaign. Who's to say? I start out today with Mercenaries. That's right, I continue more of this. What is the difference? Nothing other than the characters. The strats will always mostly be the same, starting out with the village and Ada. Here's the strat. Gather up what you can. Depending on where you start, it will mostly be the same. You'll want to go by the tower and collect the extra time, then to the barn and through the window. Get the time and 30-second kill bonus. Kill what you can. Now run to the barn that has a cow in it. Get what is inside the box. Go to the other end where the cutscene is with Leon if you enter the house. Instead, you'll want to be behind the house for the other bonus. Finally, after that wears off, go into this barn here. At least, it acts like a barn. Get the time extension, climb the ladder, and when it gets full, grab the 30-second bonus and kill all enemies. Done. This one is a little bit more open on what you want to do. The usual strat was run up the stairs and go to the right to grab some extra stuff. Kill what you can, run up the stairs before the door. Grab everything there, drop down, go through the door and all the way to the cannon area. Here is the first bonus. After grabbing the bonus and making sure you had plenty of enemies, you would then continue and go up the stairs to a time bonus and then another 30-second bonus here. Again, kill what you can, then continue on to the last room. The last time bonus is here. Kill the single Garrador and the rest of the enemies to add up the final score past 65,000. This space is pretty simple for the most part. From where I started, I went all the way up and around, then used the zipline to grab a 30-second bonus. Kill all the enemies and the Gatling enemy. I then make my way towards the base here. There is another 30-second bonus. Enemies gather here quickly too. Lastly, you'll want to kill a second Gatling enemy down here by the ladder, or after you climb up the ladder to the left. Continue up this building to find the last 30-second bonus with a lot of enemies. While being patient, the final Gatling enemy arrives. This should be enough for the 65,000. This one does depend on where you start as well. Generally, there are a few locations where a Super Dr. Salvador appears. Right by the docks and under the large structure. One within the far structure where the 30-second bonus is, and another where the bonus is up top as well as an explosive canister. He would spawn inside the lower portion of the building. Keeping those locations in mind, the 3 locations that you'll want to look out for are where the bonuses are at. The one is inside a building in a chest. One up by the docks, which is at an enclosed building. Finally, the other one is pretty much out in the open by the docks. The point of this isn't really to get the highest combo, but to go for the highest combo with those bonuses. Each Super Dr. Salvador is worth about 10,000, so there shouldn't be a problem scraping the rest up with an easy combo with those bonuses. I wanted to take a break from Mercenaries, so I decided to go on the campaign and get a few things I missed. This is breaking all windows in the village and getting damageless on El Gigante. Or is it El Gigante? I was never good with other languages. Anyway, the first two windows are in the very first building of the game after you kill the first enemy of the game. One on the first floor and another on the second. Make sure these aren't already busted or they don't count. In my lengthy battle with the enemies, one of them was broken unfortunately, so I restarted at the checkpoint and went right for it. There are two in this part of the village. One located here at the base floor and another in the building where the Dr. Salvador appears when you enter through the door. Jump through the window from either side. After going through the small battle after being caught in the village in Chapter 1-2, you'll come across two windows. Jump through the one closest to you first, then quickly jump through the other one before those grenades go off. Now to take a moment. It's time to note that I killed enemies with an incendiary grenade equipped, which gets me that achievement. I also managed to do this with the handgun. Not only that, but there will be some time before I can get the last two windows. So, it is time to understand what I was doing in the meantime. Honestly, I was collecting grenades. I need this for El Gigante. The reason, you'll soon understand. Not only that, I was collecting and selling treasure to upgrade the shotgun. This should make El Gigante easy to do damageless. We'll see if I'm right. I make it to El Gigante with my grenades prepared. All 6 of them. So right when the fight starts, 1 grenade. Go by the tree. 2 grenade. Climb and hack at the Plagas. 1 grenade. 2 grenade. Climb and hack the Plagas. Huh. Look at that. I killed it.
Oh! I killed it!
With that done, I now need to get back to the portion of the village at the start of the game. Remember those 2 windows that we saw earlier in the day? Well, they're back. That means we can jump through those same 2 windows to get the achievement. Having gotten those achievements and failing to get the 300 kills for the village campaign, I decided to get 4 achievements with Krauser. So let's roll a mini montage of that. With those out of the way, that sums up this day. Done with getting achievements, I look at what I need to do. There are more mercenaries to get and a lot to do in the campaign, so I'll likely finish up more mercenaries then go do more campaign stuff. Hunk is a pain. He starts with a TMP and 3 grenades. You'd think that would make things easier, but he might be the most difficult one to pull off combos with. To make up for this, he has a move called the Neck Breaker. That is pretty awesome since it is an instant kill, but not really great for a full combo at the moment. So let's cue a nice little montage for Hunk. That is another 4 achievements. That only leaves Wesker now. Also 4 achievements that I want to get for him. Clearing all 4 stages with 5 stars will finally get me the hand cannon unlocked. Something that I really want at the moment. Wesker has a lot of stock. He has a magnum, a sniper, a handgun, flash grenades, incendiary grenades, and frag grenades. All the weapons are extremely powerful. If that wasn't enough, he has a power thrust attack that dominates a crowd of enemies. It is hard to have room for everything. Since all strats are the same, it is time for yet another montage. Enjoy! That leaves so many achievements that are lengthy now, most of which are killing so many enemies with weapons and maxing out weapons. To make things quick, I got the achievements for killing with the Red 9, frag grenade, and the riot gun. That is it for the day. I can only expect the next days to be longer with this. The most likely event will be that I continue to get a certain amount of kills with each weapon while maxing out weapons. There is always that chance that I go for knife only, but I might save that for near the end of the achievements. For this day, it is all about getting the kills and maxing weapons. I maxed out the Punisher right before the cabin. Now, I'm going to be here a while doing this. Forget about going through the game collecting as much cash as possible, reselling weapons and such. Instead, what I did was save after clearing out the previous area before meeting up with the merchant. This is going to be the sequence. Max out a weapon, get kills with the weapon, restart from checkpoint, or load the game if I'm too far ahead. It's not much to look at, but I might as well throw some highlights of it to some music while showing the achievements here. So enjoy. There are some leftovers to get done in the campaign. Not a whole lot to go, but I do have lengthy ones left at this point. So I start off with finishing what I started. That's getting a certain number of kills with the infinite weapons now. I max out the hand cannon and go to town with it. Like before, I start at the cabin, but get the final kill I need in the water room. This is repeated for the rocket launcher, which I get the final kill right before the castle, and the Chicago typewriter, which I get the final kill at the water room again. With those out of the way, I can get started on what I really want to do. New game professional. Yeah, I do need to be professional, but there are some caveats to it. They are as follows. 300 kills in the village, get all yellow herbs and upgrade Leon and Ashley to max health, and get all emeralds on the island. So here's what I'm going to do. Start the professional run with a special costume. This gives more defense naturally. Next is to make sure that I kill as many enemies as possible and collect all the yellow herbs on my way. With those notes taken, here is how everything should go in a breakdown that I will try to be brief with. Kill all of the enemies in the first area, and anyone you come across on the way to the village. This should be easy and a given. There is nothing missable here. That is 8 enemies total at this point. Now for the village. In the village, you'll want to do as many fast kills as you can get. Don't go into the house and activate a cutscene. You'll want to go towards a village exit to say hi to a person wielding a chainsaw. Kill him. Now you can go inside the house to activate a cutscene. You can activate up to 2 cutscenes of more villagers coming after you. After so many kills or so much time, a cutscene activates. At this point in time, I have 27 kills. This should be plenty at this point. After the cutscene, I grab the yellow herb by the barn and continue on. Kill all the villagers in the next area and continue on. After running and dodging the boulder, I go back slightly and kill the 2 enemies on the bridge. At this point, I have 34 kills. Again, continue and kill the rest of the enemies. At the end of this chapter, you should have about 37 kills. The next chapter is pretty simple. At the start, there are a ton of enemies. Make sure to kill them all. You will know you have when there is no more music playing. That brings the total up to 80. I also took the liberty of grabbing the yellow herb near the exit during this battle. On your way to Mendez's house, there aren't any extra enemies. Kill them all. This brings the total up to 91. At the start of the chapter, kill the man in the bathroom and continue towards the village. In the village, kill all the enemies until there is no more music, which indicates that you've killed them all. The total kills at this point should be about 112. Now at the church, kill all enemies, then ring the church bell by shooting it. Do this until no more enemies show up. By the time you continue to the next part, you should have about 134 kills. Now, let me say something real quick. Even being on professional and making it this far, it is still somewhat tight to get 300 kills. There are no extra enemies at this point. Just kill all the enemies and make your way to Del Lago. First though, there is a yellow herb to pick up before fighting him. Step inside the small shack and break the crate to find it. Also, glad that the boss also counts as a kill. By the end of the chapter, you should have 155 kills. At the start of this chapter, I had to go back across the lake. There are some dogs to take out. That's not all though. Going back further to the room that you had to outrun the boulder again. And here, there are extra enemies. Take out everyone that you see. At this point, you should have about 170 enemies defeated. Now it's time to go across the lake again and defeat all the enemies leading up to the El Gigante. That's 180. Defeating El Gigante is 181. I grab the yellow herb here. Defeating the dogs outside the church adds up to 184. The next chapter is pretty much the same things. Just make sure to go back into the church to defeat the 2 enemies with arrows. Shoot the wagon, defeat all the enemies in this area. Go to the next area, defeat all the enemies in the village. Go to the farm, defeat all the enemies in the farm. By the time I make it to the cabin, I'm sitting at 209 defeated enemies. The cabin has a lot of enemies, and the enemies that Lewis defeats counts as well. You can defeat 39 to 41 enemies if you're fast enough. I was. I also grabbed the yellow herb here. Now just select to go to the left path and I'm almost home free. At this time, I know I'm going to be able to get the achievement. There is nothing special about the left path. Make sure to defeat all the enemies and I end up with 280 defeated enemies. Defeating the enemies on the right gets me to 294. Going to the side path, I defeat 3 more enemies, which gets me to 297. Defeating Mendez gets me 1 more. I'm now sitting at 298. I also grab a yellow herb here within the shack before leaving. I open up the gate to the castle and let the truck get me the extra kills. There are more enemies that show up after the truck wrecks. Probably about 7 or so enemies. So I did rather well to get this. I'm glad it wasn't too tight, as it is quite difficult to get to 300. Tired and overall satisfied with the progress, I stop for the day and reflect on what I need to do next time. Collect more yellow herbs and make sure I have a decent strategy to make it through the rest of the game without much hassle. I know this set is long, and it's going to feel longer with what I must do. That is collecting the rest of these yellow herbs. I last left off at the start of the castle, so from this point on, I will be pointing out locations. For this chapter, I need to go upstairs and find a chest where a single enemy with a scythe is, defeat him, and open it to find a yellow herb. When going to get the key to the prison door, smash one of the crates to find a yellow herb. Break down a cell door to find a yellow herb on the floor. Open a door to a hidden hallway for another. In the maze from the gate, you'll want to go to the northwestmost corner to find another. As Ashley, at the very start, go left and across from the typewriter to find it. You'll find a yellow herb on the table. Can't miss it. There's a yellow herb by the merchant in the depths. Upstairs by the man with the chainsaw and the key to get out towards the minecarts. After the cutscene where Leon throws his knife at Salazar, go left and around some boxes to find a chest with a yellow herb inside. Now I add emeralds into the mix since I made it to the island. Go all the way past the bridge and climb up the side of the cliff a bit to find two boxes. One has an emerald. Once up the ladder, look to your right to find some boxes. Check there to find an emerald. At this point, I have 2 emeralds and got many yellow herbs. All the while, I've been doing extra that you'd see in a normal playthrough. I got a lot of extra money so I can purchase a rocket launcher to take care of the 2 El Gigante. I imagine by the time I make it to the end, I will have a real easy boss fight. There are 2 large barrels to destroy in the basement area. One has a yellow herb. There is an emerald located in the drawer in the same area as the merchant and where the door opens and closes. After getting the card key, a regenerator will come out. Kill it and grab the emerald behind the glass. Across from the refrigeration, there is a briefcase. Open it to find an emerald. After clearing out the garbage area with a bunch of containers, check one near the door to find an emerald. When you get to the lab, destroy the glass around the test tubes. Check one of them to find an emerald. Still not done here. Go towards the communication tower outside the lab and by the merchant you will find some barrels. Destroy them to find a yellow herb in one of them. At this point, you should have 7 emeralds collected. In Chapter 5-2, get to the save room after dealing with 2 regenerators. In this room by the merchant, there is a yellow herb. The next emerald is a bit hidden. There is some glass above the stairs. Shoot all the glass and one of them will drop an emerald. Right after the laser room, you'll find a chair. Check it to get an emerald. As you go down the steps, turn around to find 2 items. One is an emerald. On your way to fight it, you'll see an item on the left path. Grab it to get a yellow herb. After you drop down from the ladder in the tent, look up and shoot the emerald. There is a yellow herb right before the fight with Krauser. The gate will shut and it's there in plain sight. There is a yellow herb at the bottom of the military base at a dead end. When going up the steps, there is a pillar. Shoot the emerald and collect it. Before going to the exit, look up at one of the pillars to find another emerald. This is all of them, and I finally get the achievement for it. For more yellow herbs, at the next save area, go straight across to find one sitting on a chair. Another yellow herb is in one of the 3 barrels in the room where there are many military enemies and the Gatling gunner is fought. I use up some yellow herbs now and get the achievement. Such a long trek for these. You should have 2 extra by the end of this, though. The final one is located right before you go through the door to see the final merchant and the save. It is sitting on the floor. Now it's just the final battle. I used a rocket launcher, grenades, and the magnum to deal a lot of damage. Then I finished him off with the red rocket launcher. I speed off on the jet ski and finally get that well sought out achievement. Ashley pops the question and I can finally get some rest.
After you take me back to my place, how about we do some overtime?
Kind of crazy this achievement is worth 50 points to be honest. I begin this day prepared for what is supposed to be the hardest challenge in Resident Evil 4, going through the village with just the knife. Right at the start, I need to unequip my gun, but it won't let me. So goodbye, my precious. Now, the big thing. You can run to enemies and back up to make them attack. Doing so will also make them miss. A lot of it is just running past the enemies. Knowing where to pick up health is rather important. This will come in handy for later. Also, take note to get treasures to sell. Sell grenades and almost all of the ammo. The first major obstacle will be the village. Running away from enemies and killing them can be really frustrating. You either have that option to kill them all with your knife, or you can do like I do. Climb up the tower and wait for everyone to leave 7 minutes later, I believe. They will throw Molotovs, but they can't kill you. After that, it is a matter of healing up and grabbing the much needed shotgun. This is important for later. Just mosey on over to the next area and I make a save here. Why? I need to farm. Get it? This is what you need to do to make things easy on yourself right here. There should be an egg spawned shortly after making it here. There are plenty of chickens. Defeat any enemies that could hinder you. Now save, then reload the game. Wait a little bit, pick up another egg, save, repeat. You can do this to have a full loadout of brown eggs and gold eggs, or just gold eggs. This will set you up for easy street if you have the patience. Before the end of the first chapter, you do need to run into the tripwire, so make sure you have some good health and restore it after. So not much happens on the way to the boss of Chapter 1-3, Del Lago. Just run to your destinations and avoid any enemies, which is pretty easy to do. After the defeat of Del Lago, you can do some fishing with a spear. So if you have room, do that for more health, or you can sell some fish as well. The next area, you do need to equip your shotgun to shoot down the crates so you can cross. Only equip it here and fire at these crates. As soon as that is done, discard it. El Gigante is a bit of a pain with knife only, but keep in mind you don't have to fight him for too long. 2 times on his back is enough to take him down. What you want to do is be by the tree so you can attack him with a knife while grabbing it. You can also have him smash the huts, and the dog as a distraction is pretty helpful. I pretty much brute forced it with all of my health though. Get Ashley, run through the graveyard, get past the traps, have Ashley follow you and hopefully not be picked up by the enemies. Get past the final set of traps by going to the side and enter the cabin. Here, there isn't much to do other than rely on Lewis to help. Break open the window so Lewis will start defeating enemies. Cover the one door with a shelf and wait for enemies to break down the other window. This whole thing is stalling for time or hopefully having Lewis defeat enough enemies. The requirement is about 40. Get past that and it's the right path that must be taken afterwards. Now for the ride of our lives. Get on the lift and take out your weapon. Get as close as you can to the front. If you can, swipe the axes with timing. When an enemy jumps on top of the lift, look up and swipe. Repeat until the end of it. Now for the home stretch. Talk to the merchant and buy all the first aid sprays you can get. Save it and hopefully you can brute force this. If not, it will take much longer than it did me. There is a strat to take less hits, but what I did was go by him and knife him. Run by him again and knife him. There are better ways, as I did take a number of hits. At one point, I went to the other side with him by the barrel, hit the barrel with a knife to make it explode and do a ton of damage to him. Eventually I get to his second form. This is such a pain, by the way. I try to get him in a good pattern so I can deal a lot of damage. The idea is to hit him a few times and run behind him. He should turn as I hit him once. Then I should be able to run, turn, and repeat. I messed up. I brute forced it anyway and took him down. The thing is, I was pretty sure that is how it was supposed to be done, but it wasn't that easy. I mean, easy enough with a ton of health. It didn't take me too long to get. After collecting his eye and opening the door with it, the achievement finally pops. Beautiful. It was a productive day, despite trying to get 100 kills in Mercenaries with Leon. I was getting there, but couldn't quite figure it out. This leads me to doing Mercenaries offline, since this will take a lot of time. The grand run is here. I don't have failed attempts to show, but there were plenty. From the start, this is hell. Quickly turn around and shoot the one barrel for health. Go outside and up the stairs to these 2 barrels. You'll need to collect the rest of the items. Ammo, a flash grenade, grenades, health, all of it. Once you make it to the top after collecting all the time extensions up to this point, shoot the barrel and collect the ammo, then reload. Quickly go to your right and activate the cutscene like so. Skip it, back up, and shoot the TNT barrel when the enemies go near it. Now for the hard part. Get your handgun out and start going ham. The crossbow enemies take 3 shots, and remember that flash grenade? Only one enemy will transform to a parasite, so use it if that happens. Shotgun enemies, use the handgun to snipe from afar. When you're about 50 to 60 enemies, go to the higher location while stringing along other enemies. More enemies spawn. Kill more enemies. When you make it to about 80, open the door and throw a grenade to kill them all. The home stretch is near. Run inside with the grenade equipped, grab the extension, turn around, throw the grenade, go outside and kill excess enemies. Now kill off any enemies you can find for the 100 enemy combo. Easy, right? Hell no. I can't tell you how much of a hard time I had with this f***ing achievement. I got grabbed sometimes at the start of the run, other times enemies weren't around because I supposedly killed them too fast. Guess what else? I got to 99 combo twice and the f***ing clawed enemies killed me with a fatality. If there is an achievement that made me hate this game, it is this f***ing achievement. F*** this achievement. F*** this map, this game, and the f***ing enemies. With that out of the way, let's see if Ada is any better. At the start, immediately open up your inventory. Discard the handgun, the scope, the handgun ammo, and a few of the incendiaries. Equip the TMP. Now for this run. Shoot the one barrel for an herb, then go up the stairs and shoot the 2 barrels for a flash grenade and sniper ammo. Make sure to get all time extensions as well. Run upstairs and shoot the 2 barrels. Get the items there, grab the time extension. Shoot the other 2 barrels through here to grab more items. Get the herb on the table, run a bit here for a second, and then grab the time extension. On the way up, grab the herb, time extension, shoot the barrel, grab the sniper ammo. Go through the doors to grab a red herb in the corner, then through the next set. Grab the time extension and the sniper ammo. You can see how this resembles the past run with a slight variant. Just like the previous run, activate the cutscene, shoot the TNT barrel with the TMP, then hopefully you'll have enough sniper ammo to get through this. You need some hand grenades and a lot of sniper ammo. Don't be afraid to use TMP ammo if you have plenty. String the enemies along when you get up to about 70. Same as before, have a grenade ready when you need to open the door. At 96, my second grenade was thrown. Nervous, I brought out the sniper rifle and shot what I could. I get the achievement, but Ada pays the ultimate price. At the start, I want to conserve ammo for whatever reason. Krauser's bow takes a ton of space as well as his arrows. Like in previous times, hit the right barrel behind you for health. Get the arrows in the right barrel here, the time extension here, the health and bow ammo, the hand grenade and bow ammo here, the herb here, time extension, another herb, time extension, and bow ammo. The red herb, time extension, and bow ammo. We are now set up for the 100 kill combo. Same things as before with a twist. Krauser is slow with the bow, but it deals heavy damage. Anyone that is shot in the head will automatically add +1 to the kill count. Any people with crossbows take 1 hit, and normal enemies take 2 hits. Overcrowding can be a problem. Killing enemies fast enough can be a problem as well. Krauser is just a problem. The redeeming thing about him is that his arm can instant kill everyone, but it takes time to recharge. Keep that in mind as you'll want that for the clawed enemies. I am forced to open these doors at 70 enemies killed, then using it sadly. So I had to deal with that Garrador. You better believe I was panicked. Damn game won't give me a break. The enemy ducked right after too. I got hit stun and I'm panicking with low life. I hit the enemy with his double kick to get some kills. I used my last herb and shoot a few more enemies. I'm now at 90. My arm glowing, I can finally finish off the Garrador. I misjudged the distance though. Me. I crack ahead, thankfully. Grab and use the herb. I use a flash grenade, get grabbed. The Garrador is stuck to the wall. Everything is f***ed.
He's nervous.
Enemies behind me. Enemies in front of me. I take aim and shoot whatever I can. I get that last headshot and now I can breathe. Just end it. Getting all the prep work done on Hunk is pretty simple. The same things as in prior ones I've done. So skipping ahead past all the setup. After shooting the barrel, I go ham on everything, taking more hits than I want. You'd think Hunk would be easier than the others, but he really isn't. I go through ammo quickly, so much that I have to use grenades to tear through enemies, balancing that fact with making sure I take out any crossbow enemies that come along the way. At this point, it is almost memorized when they show up. I'm also checking across the way to see if I have other crossbow enemies to take care of. The toughest part isn't even here, and I'm already irritated. I have stress and anxiety like you wouldn't believe. Taking hits, losing health, it just doesn't stop. It all gets me when I open the door to find no one is there. Thankfully, I throw the grenade at an area where there are enemies coming up. I just start throwing grenades to kill enemies and stun the Garrador. The second one comes out. I use my last grenade and I'm sitting at 94 kills. I take a hit from a Garrador and I'm thinking this is it. I'm going to fail this again. Luckily, I get a shot and a kill off. I have a grenade, so I throw it while the Garrador luckily runs into a wall. I shoot one more enemy and got to the 99, but I don't see another one. I enter the door and see him when a Garrador attacks me. At this point, I'm like, I'm shooting at the Garrador as the combo is getting ready to leave. I finally shoot the enemy down and get my 100. Just take me now, Garrador. I'm done. Makes me want to scream. Again, Wesker is the same as the others as far as setup. The biggest issue I have with him is that he has a handgun that I don't need, so I get rid of that a bit later after I get to the top. Now it's a sniper and magnum kind of game mixed with all kinds of grenades. Fortunately, there are many drops for sniper ammo and not too much on the handgun. I make it to the top and it becomes similar to Ada's run. I have a good amount of health at 74. I take out a grenade, open the door, and throw it into the crowd. I throw a second, hoping to hit the crowd and Garrador. I was fortunate to be able to get a few kills with that. Now I take out the magnum and go to town. Not even the Garrador can withstand it. I throw a flash grenade to stun most enemies, shoot more with the magnum, get shot by an arrow, and reload the magnum. I'm now at 96 kills, and I'm being patient for other enemies to show up, so I take my time shooting them. Now at 98, I don't see any others around, but I know there is a crossbow enemy, so I take out my sniper and miss, but hit on the second shot. By now, I know I have this. I think. I hear an enemy behind me. I turn around and get hit, but I was able to ready my sniper rifle to hit his arm in time to get the 100. Wesker was not as tough as others were by any means. This was quite a challenge. Because I was successful, I went back in to defeat the second Garrador. Yeah, these guys. This has been a long journey. I started off knowing what would be a challenge. I can say most of the set is spot on and I really don't have any arguments with it. I think it has been some solid work from Alex Hillian and Schnick 1980. Of course, the achievements that stand out are always the ones that give me the most trouble. I am so satisfied with them. If you ever overcome a challenge and know the feeling of being successful, it makes you feel on top of the world. Even though the knife-only village should do that, it really didn't. It was a 100 kills in Mercenaries with each character which made me so frustrated, but made me feel so good to accomplish it. I have never done a 100 kill combo with any character prior to these achievements. I do have a warning though. I have played some tough sets, but there is always an issue with this. I personally do enjoy the challenge, but then there is also life that plays a role in things. Although I see the care that went into the set, I don't recommend mastering it if you feel time is being taken away from important things like family. At some points my health was impacted as I do have bruxism. Unintentionally I do grind my teeth a little. I noticed I started to clinch a bit with these 100 kill achievements, so keep things like that in mind. It's not worth the time taken away from your family or if it starts to affect your health. These are my issues and not everyone will have the same problem. I did have to back away for a bit and come back refreshed. This is why it has taken so long for me to master this set. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Is there a set you found so brutal that you had to step away for a while like I did?